For those that may not be familiar with Waseefa Tarver, her journey and her story, Waseefa, will you give us a couple of highlights up until now?
Yes. Before I became Waseefa Tarver, I was Nikki Tarver. Nikki was a child that suffered psychologically, mentally, and emotionally, conceived from different perils of abuse in her life. That was domestic violence, sexual abuse, being raped. By the time that Nikki was 15, she had 2 children. Nikki was a person that lacked self-love, had no self-esteem, and went out searching that in which she lacked. And she attached herself to anything that bore a resemblance of the distorted love that she had. Distorted vision of love that she had. Nikki, by the time she was 20, she had been arrested numerous of times, up to 22 times. And the things of her past, the traumas, had caused her to run away from home. So she started doing criminal activities to provide for her while she was, as I refer to, in the wilderness. While she was in the wilderness, she got involved in various different criminal acts, which later claimed 12 years of her life in federal prison. And it was in the nucleus of prison is when her light came. And it was there that Waseefa was born and Nikki died.
And how did your journey begin?
My journey began when I gave myself permission to heal. When I gave myself permission to forgive. When you don't forgive, that creates a prison for ourselves. And I began to be free once I started forgiving. So how I began to forgiving is I developed a personal relationship with my Lord. And I took myself out of the equator and I started praying for the perpetrators, those that have caused me hurt, those that have violated Nikki, those that disappointed me. So once I started praying for them, that's when my Lord began a marvelous work in me.
And how do you think of yourself today?
I think of myself as an overcomer, a person that has survived obstacles that I shouldn't be here today. It was when I began seeking and having a desire to heal is when Waseefa was born. And Waseefa began on the inside speaking to women, helping them transform their life using my own personal experiences. And it's just coming out of that suffocation of pain. So I think of myself as someone that is a adversity expert.
Okay. And what impact has changed or transformed your life?
There are so many different elements of change that transform my life. I would say when I made a conscious decision to start making integrity-based decisions. And I believe that everything else corresponds with integrity. So I started practicing integrity with myself. And the first thing I did was became transparent with myself. I confronted things that was in myself that I needed to bring out, that I need to be truthful with. So I had to become self-aware of myself at all times. And that element of change, just being in that season of self-awareness, was transformative in my life.
So you have this new CD called Releasing the Enemy Within Me. You refer to it as transformational lecture. Why?
It transformed my life, and with the applications, it can transfer yours. There are 3 elements of releasing the enemy within me, and I'll share these 3 with you. It is, the first step is reconciliation. A lot of times we are an enemy to ourselves because we have not reconciled with the pain of the past. We have not reconciled with those who've hurt us. We have not reconciled with our mistakes and with our failures. The second part I take you into is evaluation. Evaluation of the hurt. Evaluation of the learned behaviors. And there's other elements of the evaluation process. And after the evaluation process, after we empty, we have to restore. And that's learning how to restore in us, to build us up, to be able to confidently walk into our purpose and manifest our greatness.
Sounds good. Well, may Allah continue to bless you in your journey. And thank you for your time.
And thank you as well.